She was stabbed 107 times. But the truth is even more disturbing. Imagine walking into a crime scene so brutal. Even experienced investigators had to step back. A woman stabbed not once, not 10 times, but 107 times. No signs of forced entry, no robbery, no clear motive, just rage. Pure, uncontrolled rage. But here's where it gets even more disturbing. The killer didn't just want her dead. They wanted to make a statement. And when police started digging deeper, they uncovered something no one expected. Tonight, we're breaking down the full story, what happened, who was involved, and the chilling details that still don't make sense. Before we begin, if you enjoy real true crime stories like this, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because the deeper we go, the darker these stories get. She wasn't just another headline. She had a life, a routine, people who cared about her. Friends describe her as calm, private, someone who stayed out of trouble. Nothing about her life suggested she would become the victim of one of the most violent attacks in recent history. She lived alone, kept a relatively low profile. And that's what made this case even more confusing. Because when something this brutal happens, there's usually a reason, a robbery, a relationship gone wrong, a history of conflict. But in this case, there was nothing. It started with concern. She hadn't answered calls. Messages went unread. Days passed. Then someone decided to check on her. What they found would change everything. Her body was discovered inside her home. But it wasn't just a murder scene. It was a scene of extreme violence. Investigators counted the wounds. 10, 20, 50. Then they stopped counting out loud. 107 stab wounds. Think about that for a second. That's not panic. That's not self-defense. That's overkill. That's personal. In criminal psychology, there's a term for this level of violence. Overkill. It means the attacker used far more force than necessary. And that tells investigators something very important. This wasn't random. This wasn't just about killing. This was emotional, possibly personal, possibly obsessive. Because to stab someone 107 times, you have to be close. You have to stay. You have to continue long after the victim is gone, which raises a terrifying question. Who had that kind of anger toward her? Police began piecing together her final days. Asterisk, who did she speak to last? Asterisk, who knew where she lived? Asterisk, who had access? There were no signs of forced entry. That detail changed everything, because it suggested one thing. She likely knew the person who killed her. Investigators looked into asterisk friends, asterisk family, asterisk coworkers, asterisk romantic connections. But nothing immediately stood out. No threats, no ongoing disputes, just silence. And that silence made the case even more chilling. At this point, you're probably wondering the same thing investigators were asking. Who could do something like this, and why? Before we go deeper into the suspects and theories, take a second to like this video. It helps push these stories to more people, and it tells the algorithm you want more true crime content like this. Now, let's get into the part of the case that raised even more questions. With no clear suspect, investigators had to rely on patterns. And one detail stood out. The brutality didn't match a typical crime. This wasn't. Asterisk, a burglary gone wrong. Asterisk, a random attack. Asterisk, or even a quick act of violence. This felt targeted. Some theories suggested a hidden relationship, someone she was seeing, someone not publicly known. Obsession, a person who had been watching her, studying her routine, a sudden trigger, an argument that escalated beyond control. But here's the problem. None of these theories had solid evidence. And without evidence, they were just guesses. As forensic reports came in, the case became even darker. The number of wounds wasn't the only shocking detail. It was the pattern. The repeated nature of the attack suggested the attacker didn't stop, didn't hesitate, didn't leave immediately. This wasn't just violence. This was fury. And cases like this often leave investigators with one conclusion. The killer is either extremely emotional or extremely dangerous. Sometimes both. What makes this case stand out isn't just a number. It's the mystery. No clear motive. No confirmed suspect. No simple explanation, just a brutal act that raises one haunting question. Could something like this happen again? Because when a crime has no clear resolution, it leaves fear behind. Cases like this remind us that sometimes the most dangerous threats are the ones we never see coming. If you found this story disturbing, insightful, or thought-provoking, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because we cover real stories just like this, the ones most people don't talk about. Drop a comment below. What do you think really happened here? Was this personal or something else entirely? And if you want more deep dive true crime stories, click the next video on your screen, because the next case might be even darker.